Hello guys, and welcome to the video. I've got something special for you guys today. You know I've been hyped about hybrids in this upcoming Summerset patch, and well, I just can't get off the PTS. I don't know, it's one of those patches where I'm just stuck on the PTS, and I just cannot seem to get myself playing anything but a PTS build, and I am in love with this Nightblade hybrid. So I thought, as a little bit of a special treat for you guys, we would have some hybrid duels for you guys. And I know that hybrid builds are something that have been weak in the past, and people have always looked at it and said, oh, you know, don't play a hybrid, it's not viable. Well, in PvP, I think it's finally at a state where it's quite powerful and definitely competitive with some of the top tier builds on the Magicka and stamina side of things as well. So without further ado, I present for you guys some duels on the hybrid Nightblade, playing the damage over time spec. Of course, a link to this build will be in the description for you guys if you want to check this build out on the PTS for yourselves. And yeah, let's jump into it. So the first guy that we're fighting here, I actually had quite a few really great fights with. This guy played a very bursty Magicka Nightblade spec, which is what you commonly will find in duels, I think, is this bursty kind of really heavy damage Magblade. So against this guy, you can see that I'm definitely playing the heavy kite game and really taking advantage of the fact that I have the stealth on this guy. The stealth is a big deal here for just kind of, you know, keeping a lot of incoming damage, preventing itself from even touching me. And this build is really kitey. You can see it's a medium armor build, but we've got quite a lot of sustain, and we can kite quite hard on it. You see this guy's having a lot of trouble just landing any attacks on us, and we're just constantly rotating our dots like we should on the hybrid build, keeping the pressure up. Now, I did talk with this guy after a little bit about the fights, because we did get in a nice little chat talking about each other's specs, and I know that he was hitting really hard. Judging by how little damage he takes from some of my dots, etc., I'm thinking that he was in heavy armor. He also had quite a lot of healing power going on with his cloak, and he was using the other morph of the cloak, the one that heals instead of the one that gives you stealth. And yeah, you can see his healing power is actually quite insane here. And then he did have Zon as well. There you see I just about take the death from the Zon. Super damage from that, and he of course is bursting really hard. We gotta watch out for those bow specs. But as you can see here, we're just doing the hybrid thing. We're keeping the pressure on him, making sure to rotate those dots, keep him dotted up, keep him debuffed as much as we can, and heal ourselves and dodge his attacks as we need. There's a lot going on this build with the constant debuffing that we're doing. We're making sure to keep the healing debuffs down and the damage on him, etc. And as you can see, we managed to take the win in that fight, eventually just kind of running him out of resources at the end, I think. So in this next fight here, we decided, we had talked a little bit actually, and I said, hey, if you go for Shade Man, you'll probably wreck the crap out of me. So we did, or not Shade, sorry, for the Mark. So we did a few fights with Mark, and as you can see from how this fight goes, it was a lot harder to fight his build when he had Mark on me as well. I really had to use my stamina and my Shade well in order to kite, and as you can see, I made a few poor mistakes here. A good stun there with the bow to kind of like come back from it, but quite low resources, playing it a little bit unsafe there. And as you can see here, he just kind of wears me down, and I get in a position where I'm just out of resources. So of course I provided one more fight with them when he's using the Mark as well. And this one I do a little bit better. So this was later on in our fights, and I had a more experience playing against the Mark on this build. And I learned kind of what I needed to do to stay alive, which was to just really use my healing ward, make sure I cycle my dots on him as well. There you see we both go really low HP, trying to go in for some big damage on each other there. And he gets a deadly Zon proc. I just make the healing ward in time. Playing kind of on the low HP side here, just relying on the roll. There you see the nice little bow heavy attack. That's kind of a primary stun that I needed to start using a lot when I was marked, because I didn't have the cloak to really give me that respite. So having the partial charge bow heavy, there you see it again for that stun after I dodge his attacks, is really useful on this build for that long range stun. And the partial charge bow heavy you can slip in right into another combo. And there you see with the stun combination, I was able to actually turn the fight around and take a win against him when he was using Mark as well. And then we've got another duel here, and this is the last duel that I have in this video for you guys, and it is against a Stamina Templar who seems to be running a damage over time based medium armor kind of bursty spec. And this is a pretty common dueling spec that you see from Stamina Templar, because the Stamina Templar can play a really strong dot game with Thaumaturge, of course, playing into jabs damage as well. So avoiding his initial attacks is going to be very important into preventing him from dealing a lot of damage to me. Cloak's also going to come in handy, preventing that dot damage too. The big thing he has here, of course, is Purge. Purge is going to remove a lot of negative effects, so it's going to make putting my mark on him important. There you see the Dawnbreaker. I take a lot of damage from it, but you see I managed to pull back with a quick healing ward, a little bit of a kite, get him with this stun with my ultimate, and followed up with the Resto Heavy to get some of that magicka back. Really using my stealth and the kite in this fight to really push him on the defensive. You know, if I take too much pressure, I mean, as you can see from this spec, it is medium armor, right? I'm not made to tank this out, but the kite ability of this build is pretty incredible, even in open field, just with Shade and Cloak. You can see how quickly we can move around a single player, and all this distance dot damage is really starting to wear him down. He's been purging it the whole time. And a big issue that a Stamina Templar will have is when you put the mark on them that prevents them from entering stealth. This mark's just deadly simply because it prevents them from purging your other dots on them. It's just another negative effect that they have to purge through, so it can really hurt them. Anyway, guys, that is it for the duels that we have for you guys. I did have a little bit of open world encounters on this build in Cyrodiil. That being said, there's like nobody in Cyrodiil, so that was pretty much it, was this fight. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I just wanted to show you guys this video because I think Hybrid's really strong, and I wanted to just prove it, essentially. Look how strong Hybrid is, guys. It's pretty dope. I like it, I like it. Anyway, if you guys liked what you saw, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button. If you guys want to catch me live, you can come catch it on Twitch. Link to that, of course, is in the description. A link to this build is also in the description if you want to check this build out. There you see I get the kill on this guy while I'm on the defensive, just the dots wearing him down. And finally, guys, we are sponsored by What the Fast, a VPN for gamers. It gives me better ping to ESO. And it's pretty sweet. It's free to try. If you guys want to try out a VPN, you get crap ping, maybe it's for you. You can try it from the link in the description below. Otherwise, guys, that is it for the video, and yeah, I've been thinking about different hybrid specs I want to do, but I'm kind of stuck on the Nightblade right now. I did put together a Nightblade hybrid spec with 6.3k weapon and spell damage. What do you guys think of that? Also, what do you guys think of perhaps a PvE hybrid build? These are just things I've been contemplating, or maybe a werewolf. Have a good night, everybody.